Play surges forward. Possibility!
Who fancies some sensible World of Soccer? I bet you do, Dave.
I most definitely do, Mike. This is SWOS, or Sensible World of Soccer, but the Xbox 360 version.
Oh, and this is the version we both spent a lot of time with back in the day, didn't we? It was Xbox Live Arcade? Or was it on the Xbox Store? I can't remember.
Yeah, it was. It was a game we purchased on the Xbox Live Marketplace, and it was an XBLA game. It was awesome, because both of us also played this back in the good old days on the home computers.
So, guys, we are running this over Parsec, or rather, Dave has joined my gaming laptop over Parsec. It's Xenia, isn't it, mate? The emulator.
Yes, it is. Xenia allows you to run some 360 games, and for us, SWOS works.
It does, but Dave will have to play on his own, guys, because of certain issues with Xenia without getting into it. But anyway, you're gonna see gameplay here. There's Mr. John Hare.
Yeah, I think he's one of the developers, actually, of Sensible World of Soccer.
Oh.
So I'm going to keep his name anyway, even though normally I would change that. Yeah, I think John Hare's one of the developers. Oh, in fact, I'm going through this a bit quick, because you've actually got club teams from around the world in this game, which was one thing I always
database.
Really, really loved. I mean, look, Premier Division, Deuxième Division.
Wow, all the French teams.
Yeah, but fake names though. So if I go back into England, into the Primary League, Manchester Reds, that's who I'm going to be, because that's our team. Hey, look at that. We get a letter from our chairman.
That's ahead of its time. Little screens like that, the presentation, love it.
And on the PC version of this game, Mike, with the CD-ROM, which I had back in the mid to early 90s, there was a little cutscene, a little animated cutscene of the chairman basically welcoming you to the club with speech. Yeah, it was awesome.
Well, that's cool.
Yeah. So, this is the career mode. Now, I really liked the SWOS career mode, and I felt like the likes of Konami and EA could have learned quite a lot from this.
Same. I spent many hours in this. There's Gugs.
The less said about Gugs, I think the better. So, Centene.
Yeah.
Gunnar Solskjaer. Navula. Cruyff. Or Cruyff.
Who's Mintari supposed to be?
Do you know? I don't know.
Because we had Sully Montari at Portsmouth, I believe, didn't we? Not at Man United.
We did, yeah. Didn't Sully Montari also play for Inter at one point in his career?
Yes, he did.
Yeah, and you can see we've got some reserve players down the bottom here that I can flick through. One of them is actually Davids. There's actually a Davids in our squad.
Oh, you got an X-Bot?
Yeah, I think that's supposed to be Nicky Butt, if memory serves me correct. Yeah, Davids, Simona, yeah. There we go.
So yeah, the fake names didn't affect me too much, or rather, it didn't put me off the game because the rest of the game is so good. Like, look at these screens, guys. There's your bank, 7 million.
Yeah, and look at this. View domestic market, view foreign market. I mean, this was awesome. This was like taking elements of Championship Manager and putting it into sensible soccer.
I'm glad you said that. It is definitely like a point-and-click manager game off the pitch, but then you get to play on top. It had everything.
It's fantastic. It's like the old player-manager games. You know, those Anko ones, which had the kickoff engine. I think we might have covered one in a previous Retro Football episode, actually.
This is better. This is better than those.
This is a million times better because the gameplay, in my opinion, of sensible soccer, and in this case SWOS, just blows kickoff out the water completely for me.
Yeah, I agree.
So you can see we've got all these players I could try and go for. Look, there's Rizla, which is supposed to be Uwe Rosler.
Rizla.
Radnep.
Jamie Radnep. Jamie Redknapp. I'm going to call him Radnep every time I see his face pop up on Sky Sports now.
And M. Pelmar, I think, is supposed to be Colton Palmer.
Oh, okay, yeah.
But that, just to give you an idea, I really like this. I think this was awesome. There you go, Glasgow Blues.
Oh, yeah, Rangers.
Sansuni, which is probably Sansini or Sensini.
Sensini, yeah, good player.
Yeah, Ra, which I think might be Where, potentially.
Yeah, so you get a good idea of who the players were. It wasn't that wild a name, wasn't that far off, rather.
No, but you could also view a particular team. So Newcastle were good at this time, so I could then try and look. They've got his value correct. 15 million is what Newcastle paid Blackburn Rovers for.
Did they?
Alan Shearer, yes, they did. So they've even got his value. They've even got his value right.
Yeah, you're right. It was around 15 million, wasn't it? I always forget he was at Blackburn before Newcastle. That's where he won the league, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. So if we just took a quick look at this Milan team again, I could go for Desai, for example.
Yeah.
Or Costa Curta.
Costa Curta, that's a good Milan side.
Yeah, I like that. So there you go. That gives you guys an idea of how the transfers and things work. I like how that works. It was really good.
I like this roster you've got because you've got your Primary League, which is obviously supposed to be Premier League fixtures there, and then you've got the League Cup round 2, which is where United would have started around this season in round 2 against Grimsby. I love that.
And also the Euro League, so you can see what would have been the Champions League.
Yeah. Who's that supposed to be, mate? Bianconeri. I know it's an Italian side.
I'm not sure. Is it Brescia or somebody like that?
Maybe Brescia, yeah.
Yeah. So you can view competitions, we can view the world. So if I go Europe, I can look at the Italian League. I can see what the Italian League looks like and who's winning it.
Bergamo. The ones at the top would be Brescia.
Yeah.
Because that's where Brescia is. It's based in Bergamo, but anyway. Bit of geography there for you guys. Sorry, mate, go on.
Yes, it just gives you an idea. I like this. This, for me, was more in-depth than some of the career modes that we had in other games, like your Pro Evolution Soccers and your FIFAs. This was just showing the way many, many years before those games, were what they are now, basically.
They were bare bones compared to this. There wasn't a lot of depth. I always rave about this database.
Yeah. And we can do, again, this was ahead of its time, we can simulate the game. I don't even have to play the game and just get the result at the end of it if I wanted to.
Sure.
Yeah, but I am actually going to play it because the whole point of Retro Football is you guys want to see me play games. And Mike. And Mike's going to commentate.
Yeah, I'm going to be commentator, guys. Dave will do his best being my assistant commentator. Guggs, I'm sorry. It just makes me laugh every time.
Brian Guggs.
There's West Ham side.
Yeah.
I think they've got the Italian guy up front, the Canio, around this time. Maybe.
This is before then, mate. This is before then.
Is it?
They'd have had players like Radachoyu up front at that point.
Oh, yes, Radachoyu. Look at this, Silk. Straight away, this looks like Silk. It runs really well on this emulator, actually.
Yeah, it does. I mean, they did a really good job of basically making this game HD, because to me it looks fantastic, even though, yes, it's simplistic, I get that. But they've done a great job of bringing this to the 360.
Yeah, big shout out to Matt, my brother, who will be watching this. He watches a lot of our Retro Football episodes. Matt raves about this. This is a football game Matt has spent far more hours than I have. I know he'll be enjoying this video because he hasn't seen this in action for a good few years. This looks really good, mate. Is it still tight to play?
Very tight, and also still quite difficult to play as well, because the ball physics, the way they tweak the ball physics for this game compared to the original Sensible Soccer games, you can't just run with the ball and change direction really quick because the ball will break loose.
I always preferred this, like many people, to kick off.
So did I. I was a massive fan of Sensible Soccer from the first game, which I played on the Mega Drive and Super Nintendo to start with.
Yeah.
But yeah, this feels good.
Oh, it's a foul. My first journey into the world of Sensible Soccer, or just the Sensible Soccer game, guys. Sorry to get you confused there. Was the Amiga. I played it on the Amiga first.
Was on the Amiga. Wow. Again, a great version of the game. Ran really, really nicely. Loved the sound on the Amiga, because they got the sounds really, really well done on the Amiga version.
Yes. Yeah.
Another thing I like is look at the advertising boards. You didn't have that in the original games either.
Yeah, I noticed there was one. There's a Games Radar. There it is. Advertising board. I didn't even know Games Radar were around at that time. Obviously, they were.
Yeah, CMVG, Xbox 360 magazine. I like that. I think that's a nice little touch.
Same. Now, those marks on the pitch, is that after you've slid for the ball? Does it leave a mark on it, or are they there when you kick off?
I think that's when you slide around, because I don't recall seeing them when I first kicked off.
No.
So there is a bit of pitch wearing going on, which again is nice. I can't remember if that was a thing in the original versions of this game, though.
They've actually got the whistle spot on in it. So many games, even modern day, get the ref's whistle wrong. The way he blew it there, which is a stupid or strange thing to say, guys, I know, but the beep, beep, beep. It's such a British referee thing, that is.
Spot on. And you can see Radachoyu, so good guess, Dave, was the goal scorer for West Ham. Yeah. Because I can remember him playing for West Ham against us, actually, against Manchester United at Upton Park.
I do, yeah.
Yeah.
I do. Oh,
Yeah, it's
I
a toughie.
remember finding this game difficult.
It is difficult. It is difficult. But you've got after-touch. So one of the things I'm trying to do when I do get a chance on goal is I'm trying to make that ball swing away from the goalkeeper. That was something I love doing on this game. So here, I'm going to try and swing it away from him. Oh.
So what do you do? You use left or right on the D-pad, don't you?
Yeah, so there I basically switched to using right on the D-pad as I was releasing the shot, and you saw it start to bend away from the goalkeeper. I liked that about the shooting on this game. I thought it was brilliant.
Didn't Kickoff have that, or my way off?
I think it did, yeah. I think we played one of the kickoff games, and I think we established that it did that. I think.
Oh.
He was almost in then.
Schmickel
has saved it. Go on! Oh, I've hit the beans!
I mean, this looks and feels like a home computer football game, and there's nothing wrong with that, because the home computers had some excellent football games. And when you were playing an Xbox 360, it was cool to have what felt like, to me personally, an Amiga football game with all the trimmings, the database, and that kind of thing. Playing it with a controller on your HD TV. That's what I loved about it. And it only cost a few quid as well, didn't it?
It was only a few quid, and yeah, I loved it because it was also a bit of a break away from the more modern football games, your FIFAs and your Pro Evos at the time. It was just nice to play something a bit simple again, but that was still lots of fun and had a lot of depth to it.
It has got a lot of depth. That's the thing with Sensi. From first glance, you can think, what the hell is this? Just a bunch of ants running around chasing the ball. But it does have depth to it. It didn't get all those amazing reviews or positive reviews from the media for nothing.
No, absolutely. It deserved those positive reviews. And the career mode element, I think, is absolutely fantastic. I know I've said that a few times, but it's just so, so good. Guys, you're seeing the joys of emulation because Xenia has just crashed.
Yeah, it's the black screen, guys. Well, we could see a black screen. This is the past, but in the future, or the present for you, you will see some cover art, because in post-editing, you don't want to just see a black screen. It did crash, guys. It seems like, mate, one match and you're out. So I don't know what that's about.
Very, very strange. But Mike, I can see that all too familiar sign. There's 3 red lights flashing on the front of that console.
We've got the red ring of death, mate.
Speak
to you soon. Speak to you soon, guys. Take care.